a tough geometry question here, and I'm going to try to solve it big picture and visual. So what is x plus y equal to? That's the question. Well, if we had parallel lines cut by a transversal, we would have special rules that this angle and this angle are equal, and so are this angle and this angle equal to these two angles. In any intersecting lines, the opposite angles will be equal to each other. And if you have parallel lines, then you get other special rules about different pairs being equal to each other. But we don't have that in this situation. What we have is four lines that are not parallel. Now we do know that this is worth x and this is 180 minus x. And we know that this is worth y and this is 180 minus y. But we don't know anything about the relationship between those and w over here. Though we do know this is w, this is z, this is 180 minus w, and this is 180 minus z. Because around here has to add up to 180 since it's half of a circle worth of angle. And so we know all this information, but not much more. And if we look at statement 1, it says w is equal to 95. Well, if w is equal to 95, that locks in this angle, but we still don't know anything about this top line up here. This top line could be angled the way it is, or technically it could be angled more like this, or more like this, or even inwards like this. We have no idea because we haven't locked this angle in any way. And we don't know if this side over here is locked in like this, or maybe it's locked like this, or maybe it's locked like this. And if you look at all these situations, it seems like we're not going to be able to nail down what x plus y is because those two angles don't have anything locked about them. So I don't know what x plus y represents because I don't know anything about these two lines here being locked. But I do have these two lines locked together at a 95-degree angle. So I know that these two lines are locked in a certain way. All right, now looking at statement 2, it's the same sort of information. So I feel like both statement 1 and statement 2 are insufficient on their own because they just lock two of the lines together at a certain angle, but they don't lock the other two lines in any way. However, when we take both of them together, if we look at locking all these sides together, because we have z is 125, which means that this here is going to equal what exactly? 180 minus 125 is going to be 55. And if we know that w is 95, well, that means that this is going to have to be 85. And now 180 minus x plus 180 plus y, 180 minus x plus 180 minus y is going to have to equal the remaining 360 degrees worth of this total interior angles, because these interior angles of a quadrilateral always have to add up to 360. And that goes by our rule n minus 2 times 180 gives the sum of the interior angles for any shape. Since these add up to 85 plus 55 is 140 of the 360, we have 360 minus 140, which is going to give us 220 degrees remaining for this up here, these two angles here. And that means that this is definitely solvable for x plus y. Because if this equals 220, I get 360 minus x minus y equals 220. Move both the x and the y over to the right-hand side, and that would give me 220 plus x plus y, which means that they are equal to the difference between 360 and 220, which is 140. Now, you can solve this all the way out like that, but if you know that these angles are locked in a certain way, then we know for a fact that these angles, these sides here and here are locked. And now if you imagine moving this side in any way, as you make y smaller, you're going to make x larger. And as you make x smaller, you will make the intersection of y in this angle larger. And it looks like they're offsetting in some way. They have a relationship where I bet they always add up to one special value. So that's one way of looking at it visually and saying it looks like we're always getting x plus y is equal to one consistent thing, because when I manipulate it, x gets bigger as y gets smaller and vice versa. So that's a more visual way of solving it. I would feel pretty confident either way that my answer is answer choice C. Together, these statements are sufficient, but on their own, they are insufficient.